Okay, we don't do a whole lot of sports in these segments, but come on, Monday night is different. The Cardinals are in the playoffs after 145 years, and that's one of the reasons why I want to introduce you to somebody who needs no introduction, John Gambadoro. But you say, wait a minute, hold it, that sounds familiar. No, Gambo. Everybody knows Gambo from Arizona Sports. And welcome to this part of the entertainment and media world, Gambo. I needed you to talk to me about what's going to happen Monday night against the Rams.
Well, Cardinals are in the playoffs for the first time since 2015, Pat, but they're really struggling and not playing good football. They just lost to Seattle. They've lost 4 out of 5, but the road is their safe haven. They play very well on the road. They only lost 1 road game all year. That was to Detroit. So believe it or not, they're a much better team on the road than they are at home.
Yeah, but it makes no sense to me that they lost to Detroit at all, or that the first half of the season looked so different than the second half. Can you explain it?
Well, if I had an explanation, I could sell it to Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim and make a lot of money. They got off to a 7-0 start. They were on pace for the best record in the NFL, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And then they had a second half collapse, which is something that Cliff Kingsbury throughout his entire career has haunted him. When he coached in college and in the NFL, he seems to collapse in the second half. Cardinals just really struggled, lost 3 games in a row at one point, lost 4 out of 5. And ended the season on a bad note with their only win coming on the road against Dallas. So they come into the playoffs limping. A lot of key guys are out, too. They've had some major injuries.
Yeah, but at this point of the year, everybody's got injuries. Everybody's losing key guys. So that kind of balances everything out, no matter who you're playing. However, when it comes to something that is totally unexplainable, that is winning easily most of the time on the road and struggling at home. Does anybody ever do that?
That's very rare, right? Most teams play well at home, and you try to win most of your games at home and play 500 on the road, and you go to the playoffs. It was the complete opposite. Cardinals weren't even a 500 team at home. They were 3-5 at home. So they really, really struggled playing at home. That's something they got to get figured out, but it's too late for that now. They'll figure that out next year. Right now, they got to go on the road to Los Angeles, a place that they've won. They've won in Los Angeles. Earlier in the season, they beat the Rams in L.A., so that's going to be the key. They got to get back to playing good football on the road. If they can win this game, they'll move on. And again, their path to the Super Bowl, if they can keep winning, would have to be going through the road the entire time.
We're only a couple of days away from Monday night playoff football. Nobody can even imagine that. But it's going to happen, and it's going to happen Monday evening between our Cardinals and their Rams. So who's going to come back from the world of unhealthiness that we were just talking about before? Who's going to be back that was hurt?
Well, they're really hoping that J.J. Watt, who's supposed to practice tomorrow, that J.J. Watt will be able to come back and play. He's been out for 3 months now, and they're hoping to get him back. There's a lot of other key players are hoping to get back too. Chase Edmonds, the running back, should be back. They're also hoping to get Marco Wilson, the quarterback, back. They're hoping that James Conner will be okay to play. DeAndre Hopkins has been out for 5 weeks. They're hoping at some point they can get him back in the playoffs. But we just don't know about DeAndre Hopkins. It's probably unlikely that they would get him back for this game. But they've got just so many injuries right now, mainly at that quarterback spot where Robert Alford is out, Marco Wilson is out, but they are hoping to get Wilson back.
We got 1 minute left for the time that I would love to take the next several days before the playoff to examine exactly what's going to happen. But you're the pro. You're the guy who does sports all the time. What's the key that we should all be watching for Monday night?
Well, if Matthew Stafford plays well for the Rams, they're going to win. He's really struggled lately. He's got a lot of interceptions. He's got the last 4 games, he's got 7 interceptions. He's thrown a bunch of pick sixes, so he has not played well. He's had 3 games in a row where he's thrown multiple interceptions. For the Cardinals to win, they need Matthew Stafford, who's never won a playoff game. He's never won a playoff game. They need him to play poorly. The Rams have a good defense, not a great defense. Last year, they were number 1 in the NFL. This year, they're 17th. But the key really is mistakes by Matthew Stafford. If he plays a mistake-free game, it's going to be hard for the Cardinals to win. But if he makes some mistakes, the Cardinals can capitalize on that, score some points, and maybe come away with a victory.
Gambo, there's a whole bunch of Long Island people right now saying, wait, that guy sounds familiar. Where can I find him during the week? Tell everybody about the show and what time it's on.
Can I have a quarter for some water for my daughter? That's what a lot of people always ask me to say. Quarter for some water for my daughter. The show's 2 to 6, Monday through Friday on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station. And on social media, it's Gambo987 on Twitter.
You sound like a regular American guy, no matter where you came from originally. You're here with us during the week, every day. That's Gambo on Arizona Sports. And I'm Pat McMahon.